All right, so let's go ahead and add our time. So still in our V stack there, I'm going to add another text. And this one I'm going to say time. And inside, let's go ahead and do some interpolation here. I'm just going to go ahead and pass our data dot properties, and I'm going to go ahead and get time. Okay, it says it's a double there, and we're going to have some issues for obvious reasons. So let's save this and run. Right, so you can see here the time is not very helpful because it's just showing this huge number for time, which is not necessarily what we want. The reason why this is happening is because the timestamp that we have in our payload here is probably Unix timestamp, which is more or less the computer time. And so we need to convert it into something that will actually make sense for users. So to do that, we'll have to create a function that will convert the time. Now I already have the function that's needed here, and I'm just going to copy and paste here so I don't have to waste time typing it all for you. So I'm going to put that inside of our content view right there. So I've got some information here as well, and I'll go through that. So what's happening here? Well, this time converter here, we're accepting a timestamp of type double, and we're returning a string because we want to return the time in a string format so we can see it. So what happens here, we take the timestamp that we get, so any number that we get such as this, and we divide it by 1,000 so we can actually get milliseconds. That's one thing that I had to learn the hard way because I thought I just could take the timestamp and do all these calculations and then get the time. If you do that, you will get a slightly wrong time. The reason why we're doing this is because we need to pass this timestamp that we are dividing by 1,000, okay, into the date class. As you can see here, right, we take this timestamp and we pass into date class here, and then we use formatters to actually format our time into something that we can see. So this is where all of this comes to play. So if we pass certain regular expressions per se through our date formatter, as you can see here, we're saying we want our date format to be this form. This means we are going to have day, month, year, hour, minute, and second. Okay? So that's what we are doing. So essentially, we're just converting everything into something that users can actually see or something users can recognize as a date. And then we return that using our date formatter object that we created. That's all. So now I can actually use that in my, if we go to our cell like this, I can wrap all of that because remember our time converter requires the timestamp, which is all of this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to say time converter like this, put a time stamp like that, which is going to be all of that. And let's go ahead and close this down so we actually have everything that we need. There we go. So we're taking our time that we're getting from our JSON API and we're passing through our time converter. So at this point here, we should hopefully see a more readable time. And voila, just like that, you can see this is October 2nd, 2019. This is when it happened, right? All of that. So this is actually working because today is October 2nd. Now, this will always change, obviously, depending on the time that we're receiving from our payload for obvious reasons, right? Very good. So let's go ahead and add a few modifiers here. I want to make this time italic, and foreground color is going to be orange. And let's give it a font to be a sub headline like this. And for now, I'm going to give it a padding, a top padding that is, of about 2, so that there is some space between the place and the time. Just a little bit there, okay? Very good. Look at this. Our app is looking much, much better.